Hello, critter protectors. Mr. Jim here, and welcome to Kids Animal Stories, a place where there's always a mystery and adventure around every single corner. If you love critters of all shapes and sizes, I need you on our Critter Protector team. Join our adventure as we learn about critters from around the world and in our backyards. Well, my friends, are you ready for today's adventure? Me too, let's go!
Omari the African painted dog loves his life on the African plains. He lived in a place called Tanzania, and it was one of the most beautiful places in the entire world to Omari. Of course, he'd never been anywhere else in his life, though. Omari lived with his mother and father, who were the leaders of their pack. The pack they belonged to was very large. It had 30 members in total, and that made them the biggest painted dog pack in all of Tanzania. Omari was a very adventurous pup. He had big, round, furry ears that helped him hear with amazing ability, and a long brown snout that helped with smelling prey. Oh, and he had long legs that made him run very fast, with lots of brown fur and black spots all over his fur coat. He was one of the most beautiful pups in the pack, and his parents loved him dearly. And the entire pack loved him too. In their pack, everyone was family, so when a new pup was born, everyone, including the mother, took care of them. So Omari had a lot of love from the moment he was born. From the start, Omari's parents taught him how to be an excellent hunter. Do you know how to be a hunter if you were an African painted dog? Well, he enjoyed hunting with his parents, but he was a very curious pup. He wanted to know more about the life outside of his pack. He wanted to see things that were outside of the African plains. He wanted to explore, which I can totally understand. I would want to do the same thing. But his parents had made it very clear when he was little that he was never to go far from the pack. Why do you think that's the case? Do you think his parents just didn't want him to have any fun? I don't think so. I think it's because being in a pack as a little baby and a pup African painted dog, being in a pack provides safety. Even though they didn't have a lot of predators, there was still some that might take a chance if he was all alone. So his parents, they just wanted to keep him safe. One day, Omari was playing with another pup in his pack. They were enjoying a good game of rough and tumble when suddenly he had an idea. Do you like to play games with your friends? What is your favorite game to play? Do you like to wrestle or maybe play outside on the playground? There's so many different fun games to play.
Hey, I have an idea. Let's play near the edge of the tall grass,
said Omari. Adu was a bit worried. The tall grass was much taller than they were because they were only pups. The grown-ups had told them to not go too close to that tall grass because something could be hiding in it.
Oh, I don't think that's a good idea, Omari. What if something jumps out at us?
Said Adu. Omari laughed.
Ha! I'm brave and nothing can scare me.
And with that, he began to walk towards that tall grass.
Wait up, Omari. I don't like this idea,
cried Adu as she hurried after him. Adu ran with all her might to catch up with Omari. And when she did, she saw they were right at the edge of that very tall grass.
I have a bad feeling about this. Come on, Omari. Let's turn back. Stop being so scared. Nothing bad is gonna happen. Come on, be more brave like me. Don't you want to have an adventure?
asked Omari. Oh dear. What do you think? Is something gonna happen or am I overreacting? I don't know. Let's see. Before Adu could answer, Omari started to walk into the tall grass.
Omari, get out of the grass!
Screamed Adu. As Omari turned around to laugh at Adu, suddenly he heard a low growl come from behind. He pricked up his ears as high as they could go and raised up his fur. There was something in the tall grass behind him, and it sounded like it was getting closer, and it sounded mean and hungry. Both pups stood very still. They didn't know what to do. This had never happened before. If they ran, the animal that growled was probably faster and could outrun them. And if they screamed for the pack, they would get in so much trouble. Adu listened with her big ears and started to sniff the air. She had never smelled this kind of scent before, and it smelled dangerous. She was terrified. Adu didn't want to leave Omari behind, but everything in her was saying to run as fast as she could.
Adu,
whispered Omari.
come as close to me as possible.
Adu wasn't in the mood to argue at all with Omari, so she inched closer to the tall grass. Her heart was pounding so hard in her chest that it felt like it was going to explode. When she reached Omari, she noticed that he looked very scared too.
I have an idea. On the count of 3, let's growl back at it. Maybe if we both growl at the same time together, it will make a bigger growl, and it could make us seem like a lot bigger than just 2 pups,
Omari whispered. Omari's idea made sense to Adu, so she watched and waited for him to count to 3. Can you count with me? 1, 2, 3. When the countdown was done, Omari and Adu let out the loudest growl together that they could ever make. Growl with me. Come on. It felt like it shook the ground beneath them. Then they stood very still and waited to see what the other animal would do. Oh dear! Was this a good idea, or did this make things worse? I'm not sure what's gonna happen. We'll have to wait and see what happens on the next episode of Kids Animal Stories. We'll be right back after a brief word from our sponsor. Hey friends, I need your help celebrating a birthday. Drum roll, please. Happy birthday, Anastasia, who's turning 9 years old. Anastasia loves animals and is a critter protector. She loves to rollerblade and she loves playing with her little brother, Dominic. Wow, Anastasia, I'm so glad that we got to celebrate you and your big day on the show. Happy birthday, Anastasia. And you know what time it is. It's time for some critter protector shout outs. I want to say hey to Franklin from Portland, Oregon, Dante from Minnesota, Avery from British Columbia, Jax from California, Audrey from Michigan, Chevelle from Hawaii, and Yusuf from Texas. I'm so glad that you're all critter protectors. We definitely could not protect all the critters without you, my friends. Well, I hope you all have a super duper day, and I'll see you on our next adventure. Bye!